Hello and welcome. You are listening to episode 52 of the Nearly Men Video Games podcast, coming to you from Scotland on Thursday, 21st of November 2019. I'm Colin Little, and joining me today is Gary Hogg-Simmons.
Hello.
And Paul Kaczynski.
That's no moon, that's a space station.
It is indeed. We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them, we don't sell them, we're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point you have probably kicked our asses online. Hello, Jets. How are we all doing?
Kicking asses.
Kicked ass.
I'm very aware I'm a wee bit husky. So.
Aye. Tell us.
Well, the interesting thing is we have all been at various levels of death's door in the last couple of weeks, haven't we? I mean, we have not been a well bunch.
The nearly dead men.
Indeed. I think Gary had the full boona. He actually had the flu, laid out off work.
Well, we're starting to look into funeral plans and things.
It was worrying.
I was looking at wills and how much. I was going around this game room, sticking a sticker with my name on the back.
Just a wee red dot.
That one's mine. That one's mine.
So that's what those are.
You had a pretty nasty cold.
No, I had a very alright cold.
No.
I felt a bit awful for a couple of days, and that was it.
I had a horrendous cold. As you can hear, still have it a
hanging
little
about.
bit. That's nearly 2 weeks now. It's definitely on its way out, but
it's good you're getting it before Panto, getting it out of the way.
Yeah, well, literally, I mean, it looks like I might just make it just before Panto rehearsals start and might just clear. Yes, I suppose if you're going to get it, it's better to get it just beforehand. But I have been working this week and actually working outside, so it's not been ideal.
Aye, that's no good.
However, I have survived. Aside from horrible mucousy diseases and viruses that we all had.
Lovely.
So nice.
How are we all doing? We all good?
Yeah. Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tired. I'm quite tired,
Yeah.
but I've got no excuse other than playing a lot of games
Well,
late at
It's
night.
the best kind of tired.
Well, I think we have all been playing a lot of games, so
Yeah.
we should maybe get started. But first things first, Paul, why don't you tell everybody who we are?
Well, we are the Nearly Men, and we love you getting in touch, so please do get in touch. This is how you can do it.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Gary at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah, so please do get in touch. The podcast is always more alive when we've got things to talk about that are not to do with ourselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. So please do drop us a line, give us 5-star reviews wherever you can, and just subscribe.
Yes, please do that. Well, what about people that maybe have already done that and been in touch? Gary,
Have people got in touch?
who's been in touch?
A few folk have. How exciting. So the first people to be in touch were from Arcade Glasgow. Now, if you don't know who Arcade are, they're a cracking little retro, modern games as well, cafe down in the Salt Market of Glasgow. And we've had an event there once.
Yeah, we have.
And you can private hire it out, or you can just go in and pay some money to spend an hour or so in there playing games. They've got
Everything. They've got literally everything. They've got some arcade cabinets. They've got things like Virtua Fighter. They've got a Street Fighter cabinet.
They've got a light gun cabinet.
Yeah, they've got loads of stuff. They've got pretty much every console you're going to need.
Big on Guitar Hero as well, if I'm
Yes.
right from Twitter and things.
Mad
Yeah,
on the
so
Guitar Hero.
Mad for it.
They've
Mad
got
for it.
everything and noodles.
And noodles.
And a really nice toilet, which sounds weird, but we've all been to places where the toilet's just not quite up to scratch. This
We've been
toilet
in a
is
few
on
places
point.
where the toilet is not up
Yeah,
to scratch.
so don't be worried that you're going to have Geek Toilet of Doom. These toilets are finessed.
I hasten to add that I feel like we also have to say that the toilet's not the highlight of the place, though, okay? It's just that the toilet's also nice, okay? It's
Yeah,
not
it's
as
a
though
very
you go
nice
in there
toilet.
and everything else isn't great, but the toilet's nice.
I mean, to be fair, you've spent more time talking about the toilets than you have about
exactly.
everything else.
Everything else.
I just like a nice toilet, right? So, anyway, they get in touch and they said, we need more people to pledge towards our hashtag Games for Good charity fundraiser for at Volunteer Glasgow without a W. We have a whole team of Twitch streamers taking donations from now until December 3rd, hashtag Giving Tuesday. So if you want to support some charities and watch some video games, get along to Twitch and donate some cash to them, or pop in and see them. It's a really good time. I love going in. It's a good laugh. I've been a few times.
I've never been in.
Yeah. Was it just? Oh yeah, no, you didn't make the retro game day.
I couldn't make it. No.
Oh, see, you were there in spirit. See, it felt like you were there being bad at computer games.
We've been in a couple of times. We were in at they did a proper retro day where we were in playing Commodore and Spectrum games and all that as well.
So
Happy
hard,
days.
so difficult.
Happy days.
Yeah, it's such a cool place. You need to check out Arcade Glasgow, and of course, check out their #Games for Good charity fundraiser for Volunteer Glasgow. They're taking donations until December the 3rd, so it sounds like a really good thing to get involved. Check it out. And of course, if you can't donate, even go over there and just give them a retweet, give them a share, all that sort of stuff. Check out the streams and spread the word. But I'll definitely have to go back to Arcade. I think we should all go back again.
Yeah,
sounds good.
I might try and get over Christmas break.
At some point.
Yeah.
A nearly men takeover.
A nearly takeover.
Such fun.
We'll
not very good at anything, are we?
We'll just stand in the porch for a bit and then they'll tell us to leave a little bit. We'll be like, well, we'll be back one of these days. Yeah, definitely check that out.
Jamie Simpson.
Yes. Now, we got to the end of this last week, Paul. Last episode, we were starting to wonder whether Jamie Simpson, due to his constant comments, the games he was playing, then we knew there was a bit of a sort of synergy with the games that Gary was playing as well. And we were a bit like, this is a bit odd. This is a bit odd.
But here's the question. Have you ever seen Jamie Simpson and Gary Hogg in the same room?
No, well, but this is because Jamie Simpson's always conventionally coming back from some holiday or something.
True,
he's a bit of a jet setter. Jamie Simpson's a bit of a jet setter. But I think we've sort of started to come down to, well, we've got an explanation.
Oh yeah, see, I was starting to wonder, like, when I go to sleep, do I turn into Jamie Simpson?
Oh, kind of like
Jekyll and Hyde.
Like the Riddler
in
Gotham.
So like that whole sort of thing, I was starting to believe it. But Jamie has got in touch, and he did say, no double life unless my wife isn't telling me something.
Aye.
Totally unrelated, but are any of you fans of Marillion, preferably the Fish era? Because I'm worried if Scotland goes independent, I won't be able to listen to them anymore. Now, me being a little baby, being the youngest of the group.
Oh, he's so young.
I didn't get that reference, but Paul did.
Yes.
So, Paul, what are we listening out for?
Kaylee. That's the only Marillion song. It's the only bit of a Marillion song I know. Kaylee. I think that was their big hit. Fish is... is Fish still kicking about?
Yeah, now, I believe...
Oh, here it comes.
Fish, right? Fish spells his name with PH, doesn't he?
No, I don't think so.
I think he does.
I'm so lost.
I think he does. And I'm pretty sure that the Ben & Jerry's ice cream fish food was made for him. I'm going to have to check this now.
That's a lot of nonsense. That is a lot of nonsense.
Let me check this.
So yeah, this is like whoosh way over my head. I was just like, I actually thought it was about fishing and a marlin, and I just thought he spelled it funny. So no, yeah, me and Jamie are not the same person. Although it'll be interesting to see when he gets in touch if we still are playing the same games.
Well, you've been playing different games this week, so if there's a wee coincidence there, then I'm not having it.
Right, we've got an answer to this.
Okay. Oh no!
Turns out I'm not quite correct.
Good. I'm secretly glad.
It is named after a musician. It's named after a band, but it's named after the Vermont jam band Fish.
Okay.
And not Fish.
I'm pretty sure Fish is with an F.
I think he is, but this band is with a PH. So that's where it came from.
Because they're fresh with a PH.
Ouch.
Fresh fish.
Well, you'd rather have fresh fish than unfresh fish, let's be honest.
The answer to your question, Jimmy Simpson, about not being able to listen to Marillion is just come on up. We're taking anybody. If we go independent, you can come and live with us.
Absolutely.
Come live with Fish.
Everybody's welcome, except the Tories.
Yeah. If you're a Tory, that's probably not going to work.
If you're a Tory, just turn around at the door.
Fantastic.
Sorry, I just nearly coughed into the microphone.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a long night.
Oh, it's going to be a long
Maybe
night.
just rest your voice, Colin. Just you sit back.
Fat chance of that.
Don't do any talking
Fat
for a
chance
wee
of
while.
that. I've got my sexy gravelly voice on, and the maestro's here to dish out some flaming hot takes.
The maestro.
Now, Mr. Kaczynski.
Hello.
There is a wee matter of the Game Awards happening next month on the 12th of December, I believe, at the Microsoft Theatre in LA, in Glasgow.
Glasgow. If only.
If only, I know we could have went along. Mr. Kaczynski, I believe you have the list, and we're going to have a wee guest.
Why not?
We're going to put some hot noms.
Because, I think we did this once with the BAFTA Awards.
And we did okay.
And we did the predictions, but I don't know if we ever checked them.
I think I checked them and knew that we didn't do well enough.
Maybe that's why it wasn't included. I think there is about 30 categories though, so we're going to have to fly through it.
What's there?
I thought about just picking categories, and then I thought, no, where's the fun in that? Because it's it's the best kind of indie game that'll get you the point.
Now this is my thing. Are we going with what we want to win or what we think will win?
I think we will go with what we want what we think will win for points.
Yep, but we can
let us know.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. What way do you want? Do you want to do this starting at the bottom and going up to the game of the year? Do you want to start with the game of the year?
Start at the bottom, work our way up. We'll rattle through them.
The
Right,
bottom,
okay,
I don't even know what that is.
Well, do you know, I'm not going to start at the very bottom.
No.
I'll kind of bounce about a bit, right?
No.
Let's see. Let's start with. Let's go there. So, like best action game.
Ooh,
right,
okay.
we'll go to best action game. Your choices are Apex Legends, Astral Chain, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5, and Metro Exodus.
Ooh, that's a real mishmash. I wouldn't call them all action games.
I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah.
Now, for my knowledge, I think an action game is considered like things you just shoot things.
Okay.
You just do things. So if you're starting to do puzzles and things like that, I think it becomes an action adventure.
Right.
You know what I mean? So action games.
I'm going to go with Gears 5. I reckon that'll be the winner.
Gears 5, he's saying. So Colin's saying that. I'm going to have to note these down, aren't I?
I'm going to go Astral Chain just because it's from Platinum Games and the gameplay. I've played it and I'm a fan, but the gameplay is amazeballs.
I just went with the fact that it's at the Microsoft Theatre. There'll be all sorts of money under there.
I'm going to say Apex Legends.
Nah.
No one plays Apex Legends.
I'm going to say Apex Legends.
People do play it, but it's
big game. So would you want to win?
I would like Astral Chain to win.
I think I want Astral Chain to win.
do you know, I don't feel particularly strongly about any of those games, so I'll go with Astral Chain. Astral Chain.
The best VR AR game, you've got Asgard's Wrath, Blood and Truth, Beat Saber, No Man's Sky, and Trover Saves the Universe.
Definitely not Mr. Magoo Goes to Space. My Sony fanboy in me would like it to be Blood and Truth.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think it'll be Beat Saber that will win.
Colin's saying Beat Saber. What do you think, Gary?
I am fighting off a dog, but I also think
that is not a euphemism.
I think Beat Saber will win due to accessibility.
I also think Beat Saber because it's a wicked game. Wicked. Best action adventure game: Borderlands 3, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
I would probably, in my heart, want Sekiro, but I think it'll be Control.
He's going for Control. Gary Hogg.
Was this action adventure?
Action adventure: Borderlands, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Legend of Zelda, Sekiro.
In my heart, I would like Resident Evil 2. And I feel people would like Zelda, but Zelda's a remake, so I think that kind of takes it out of the top running.
So's Resident Evil.
True. But like Zelda's like a screen remake.
It's going to be Control, guy.
That's a tricky category. That's a strong category.
I'll say Control because Control was good. It's a pain in the butt at times, but it's good.
I think it'll be Control.
I'm going to go for. Oh no. I'm going for Control as well. Let's see. Best RPG: Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy 14, Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and The Outer Worlds.
Because the word is specifically RPG, I think Outer Worlds.
He's going to Outer Worlds. I'm going to go Disco Elysium.
Okay.
That's getting very good write-ups.
I'm going to go Kingdom Hearts 3 because I think if it doesn't, I think like all the anime fanboys will like blow the world up. We did wait like 12 years for it, and we were like,
Oh my gosh. Best fighting game is up next, lads.
Oh.
Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force, Mortal Kombat 11, Samurai Showdown, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros is always popular. Apparently, MK11's very good as well.
It was. Story was good.
I'm going to go Smash Bros. I can't see that they can't.
I
Smash
imagine
Brothers.
it'll be Smash Brothers. I'll go with that.
Because that's about a year old and there's people still playing it.
There's people still playing the original Smash. I mean,
Exactly.
it's an obsession.
And they're still chucking out DLC for it.
Yeah. So we're all going Smash Brothers?
Yes.
Cool. Best family game? Or is what this is
The Nintendo category.
the best Nintendo game? Luigi's Mansion 3, Ring Fit Adventure, steady. Super Mario Maker 2, Super Smash Brothers, and Yoshi's Crafted World.
Luigi's Mansion.
Yep.
I'm going to say Crafted World.
Yoshi's Crafted World?
Well, I've played both of them.
Oh.
All I know is that people are absolutely losing their mind for how good Luigi's Mansion is.
It's fantastic, but Crafted World is much easier to pick up and play as a family. Luigi's Mansion,
okay.
like, for kids,
Oh,
could
so
be
you're
quite...
going that route? Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's not the way they decide these things.
I'm going to go Luigi's Mansion as well, I think. Where are we now? Let's see. Best strategy game. Age of Wonders, Planetfall. Anno, 1800.
I know.
Fire Emblem, Three Houses. Total War, Three Kingdoms. Tropico 6, and War Groove. Getting your War Groove on.
So purely, this is me just heart reeling head. I'm going to go for Total War
Total War.
because I love those games.
I'm going to go Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
That's probably the one that will win, but I'm just going with my heart.
For me, it's between Fire Emblem and Tropical.
Oh.
Which one is that? Tropical 6?
Yeah. So I will say
Did you
Tropical
play-
6.
You going?
Just,
was
yeah.
that- yeah.
I played Tropical 5 quite
Was,
a bit.
was that the PlayStation Plus game?
It was a number of years
Yeah.
back. It's good.
Best sports racing game. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel. Dirt Rally 2. eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer 2020. Formula 1 2019 and FIFA 20.
So out of my depth here.
Hmm.
I'm going to say Crash Team
That's-
Racing.
That is a stinking category.
I mean, honestly, who's going to... I mean, I don't know who's going to win.
There's not a winner there, to be
It's not,
honest.
because, I mean, FIFA 20 is all right, but it's not,
Just
not a
FIFA.
game changer. I wonder about Pro Evo, because apparently it is a lot better.
Oh, he's thinking about it. He's
I
thinking
might
about
go Pro Evo. I have no experience of it, and I know they always say, "Oh, this is the year Pro Evo's better," but I'll go Pro Evo
it. I'm going Pro Evo. I'm going to go FIFA then, just for banner.
just because you're a corporate shill.
Best multiplayer game: Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Tetris 99, and Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
This is the one that I think Call of Duty might win.
Oh.
I think Tetris 99.
Oh.
That's just crazy talk.
I'm thinking Borderlands 3.
I'm going Call of Duty.
Colin's going Call of Duty. You going Tetris 99 then?
Yeah.
Gary Hogg, Tetris 99. Forgot your name there to write it in. And I'm going to go Borderlands 3. Just because I think that's its strength. If it's going to win anything, it's going to win that. Fresh indie game presented by Subway.
Eat
So basically,
Subway.
they're giving it to the studio. So it's is it Zaum? Is that how they call it? ZA/UM for Disco Elysium. Nomad Studio for Gris, I think it's pronounced. Dead Toast Entertainment for My Friend Pedro. Mobius Digital for Outer Wilds. Mega Crit for Slay the Spire. And House for Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game. Everyone's lost
Yeah.
their mind for
I
it.
mean, that's the only one I've heard in that
Yeah.
list. So
It was an event.
I'm going for Disco Elysium again.
Disco Elysium.
Content Creator of the Year, gentlemen.
No. Are we nommed? Are we nommed?
We are not knobbed.
Oh, what?
We are nomless.
Your choices are Courage, Dr. Lupo, Ewok, Grefg, Shroud.
I don't know what these words are. Have you just had a stroke?
I'm going to say Ewok, just
Ewok,
I wanted to say. I'll say Grefg or whatever it was.
Grefg.
Grefg, Colin's graphic. I'm going to say Shroud because it's the only person I've heard of.
I've not heard of any of them. Are these people?
I think he's a.
Are they Twitchers?
I think he's a Mixer now. I think he moved to Mixer.
Like,
I think that's the only reason I know. Like,
No.
just so you know, Gary Hogg is doing that. It's some sort of DJ scratching noise to accompany that.
You know that sort of like thing that old folk used to do to sort of like symbolise like Fatboy Slim or something like that.
that's me.
Mixer is Microsoft's version of Twitch, basically.
All right.
Despite being the youngest of us all here, Gary single-handedly made him appear the oldest in a millisecond.
Right, best community support: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. That's still going.
Rainbow Six has got a massive community. Like they're very supportive. I'm assuming it'll probably be Fortnite. But then they did lie to them all and like wipe them off the planet, didn't they?
That was glorious.
Yeah, but then people sat and watched the black hole for like 2 days.
Exactly.
That's
I think for that sort of reason it will be Fortnite.
I can't not say Fortnite for that.
I'm going to say Final Fantasy 14 because they did go through an end of the world event and still came back to play the new game.
Okay.
Like the game was so bad they destroyed the world and rebooted the whole game.
Start from scratch.
Because I played it before and was like, what is this? And I went back to it and I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
Because
but-
it was different. But
This this isn't an award for how good the community is. It's how good the support of the community from the developer is. If they broke the award, if they broke the world, then surely
Yeah, but then the community
think
came
it's
back and supported it.
I think it's a linked thing. I think it's
Yeah.
both
Mhm.
ways kind of
So
thing.
like, yeah, the
I
community was
still
like,
think Fortnite.
So do I.
but I'm going to say Final Fantasy
Yeah,
14 because that game's going for ages as well, like
Yeah.
donkeys, and it's still popular.
And just think about the amount of remasters and re-release there's still to do of it. as
Oh
well.
my god.
Mechanics and online game, Colin.
Best mobile game. Game.
Mobile.
Call of Duty. Mobile. Grindstone. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Sky. Children of Light. And What the Golf.
What the golf?
What the Golf's apparently really good, actually. I'm going to go What the Golf.
He's going What the Golf. I'm going to go Grindstone.
I'm going to go Sayonara Wild Hearts just because it says Sayonara in it.
I think that's meant to be quite nice. I think it's like meant to be played like an album. You're meant to play like it's like a 40-minute game. You're meant to play all the way through, and that's
For a
very
mobile
musical.
game?
I think so. Yeah.
Sitting in the toilet for 40 minutes.
You know, that's not what you're meant to play mobile game.
Nobody asked to borrow Gary's phone.
Best independent game: Baba Is You, Disco Elysium, Katana Zero, Outer Wilds, and Untitled Goose Game.
Disco Elysium.
Oh, you're just copying me.
I'm not copying you. I went first. How am I copying you?
I'm going Disco Elysium as well.
I'll stay with Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled the Goose Game.
People are getting tattoos of the goose.
Tattoos of the goose.
Yep.
That's phenomenal. That is unbelievable.
Be fair though, that doesn't necessarily mean. I'd like to see the Venn diagram of people that get tattoos of characters from games and people who are, say, mentally ill, and just see where that circle. I imagine it might be quite a circular.
Colin's opinions is not that of the Daily Man.
And watch our likes drop.
As all our listeners turn around and look at their tattoo of Sonic the Hedgehog on their leg and just shake their heads.
God. Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, Fortnite.
I think I'm going to have it's going to be Fortnite, isn't it?
I think so.
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Games for Impact. I think this is
They
game.
make you greet.
No, I think it's like if they've got a social message. I think of some kind.
Okay.
That's what I'm kind of trying to work out by the nominees. Concrete Genie, Gris, Kind Words, Life is Strange 2, and Sea of Solitude.
So, on Deb's behalf, I would probably say Life is Strange, but I think it might be Concrete Genie.
I agree with you. Concrete Genie.
I almost bought Concrete Genie, but then I heard it was a bit gank.
Gank, is that a technical term?
Yeah. That's the polite term for what I was going to say. So I will go with Life is Strange 2.
Life is Strange, says Gary Hogg. Let's see. Best audio design: Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Control, Death Stranding, Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
But I mean, it's the kind of thing probably Death Stranding will get.
Mm-hmm.
Death Stranding's got a lot of noms, hasn't it?
It's got the most.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give Death Stranding it for audio design.
Ooh.
And from the games I've played or watched, it's between Control or Resident Evil 2, because the audio in those make me poop my pants.
I'm just being purely cynical and just thinking of the ones that folk are going to get.
But I'll be a homeboy and say Resident Evil 2.
He's saying Resident Evil 2. I'm between Modern Warfare and Death Stranding.
The sound in Modern Warfare is very good.
I'm going to go Modern Warfare, just to keep it.
It's so
sort of game.
loud.
Is it loud? Is it? Oh, God.
So loud. So many explosions.
Like me when we mic test.
Yes, indeed.
It's a very famous quote by, his name's right out of my head, the guy in Cuba. What's the leader of Cuba?
Fidel Castro.
Fidel Castro.
The guy in Cuba. I went, what? Gooding
guy
Jr.?
in Cuba.
Totally went out of my head. Apparently, when he saw the Manic Street Preachers, he described them as louder than war.
It's the man that survived the Cuban Missiles Crisis, the Bay of Pigs and all that. But
Louder than war.
The Manics.
Best music / score, Cadence of Hyrule, Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. See, Death Stranding's got a really nice soundtrack, but I don't know if I'd class it as a score.
Nah, but it will be, though. It will be classed as it. It'll be Death Stranding.
No, I'm not going to say Death Stranding.
I'm going Death Stranding.
I'm going Cadence of Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule, Gary Hogg.
I'm essentially doing a sort of spread bet here where I just sort of like...
Hope something sticks, yeah.
Just going for all the favourites as far as I'm concerned.
I'm going to go Sayonara Wild Hearts, just to keep it a game. Best art direction, Control, Death Stranding, Gris, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Link's Awakening.
I think it should be either Sekiro. I think it should be Sekiro. I think it's probably going to be Death Stranding. But Link's Awakening looks lovely too. I'm going with Sekiro for moment. I'm just going for it.
He's going for Sekiro.
I'd say Sekiro as well.
He's saying Sekiro as well. I'm going to say Death Stranding.
Because that'll be the one that will win.
Best narrative, A Plague Tale Innocence,
Ooh.
Control, Death Stranding, Disco Elysium, and The Outer Worlds.
A Plague Tale Innocence is very good. Do you know, that's got a good chance, actually. That was really well
My
received.
gut is a Plague Tale.
I would go A Plague Tale.
You're both going to Plague Tale? Gosh, I don't know. I've never played A Plague Tale.
It's good.
I feel a Plague Tale should get it, but like the narrative and Death Stranding is excellent.
That's the thing I'm having here. Is this is the argument
Control's
about
narrative is good as well. The way they deliver the story. Oh no!
you also have to try and work out. You have to bear in mind that it's the same with the Oscars. See the ones that are released closer to it. They're more in the forefront of people's minds. So
In theory, yeah.
the games that have been out for a wee bit longer really have to really hit hard if they're going to resonate. But I'm just going to go with it for the sake of it.
I'm going to go Death Stranding.
It will almost certainly be Death Stranding.
Best game direction. You've got Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Outer Wilds.
Resi 2's got a good shout on that.
You've got to give it to Death Stranding, I think.
I think it will be Death Stranding. Whether it should be or not, but I would say Death Stranding will win.
Death Stranding.
Especially, I mean, you also have to think about its big superstar cast and all that. That makes...
But then, is that just because it's the scale of it?
It'll just get it. It'll be that.
What do you think, Gary Hogg-Simmons?
The same as zombies.
Staying with zombies.
Staying on brand.
Yep.
I keep forgetting your initial. Like, what is Gary's first initial? Best performance. We've got Ashley Birch as Parvati Holcomb in The Outer Worlds. Courtney Hope as Jessie Faden in Control. Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz in Gears 5. Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff, Death Stranding. Matthew Porretta as Dr. Casper Darling, Control. And Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges, Death Stranding.
I think it's going to be a toss-up between Laura Bailey and Norman Reedus, and I think they'll give it Norman Reedus.
I'm saying Mads Mickelson.
The only one I don't know there is Laura Bailey's Kate Diaz in Gears 5, because that's the one I've not played. I feel like Norman Reedus is doing his best impression of Solid Snake.
Well, see...
And my pal Kevin, who was like, no, that's just him doing his Walking Dead voice. I was like, well, is that why you get the job? Because
That's all he's got.
because I was like, hey, Snake.
He is a wonderful actor. I think he's very good. He is very much... I've not seen an awful lot of Death Stranding. What I have seen of him, he looks very similar to Daryl from The Walking Dead, who he plays.
Yeah.
But, there's plenty of actors that we know that kind of just do one thing
what they
and
do,
do
yeah.
it well.
Yeah. Fair play.
I'm going to Courtney Hope as Jessie Fadden in Control.
Mm-hmm.
She has lots of lovely levels in
I think that's another point. I've heard a lot of love for Kate Diaz, and I think it's so. Laura Bailey's got a real good shout, but I just think it's Norman Reedus. It's his first big video game, the whole Silent Hills thing and all that. I think it'll be him.
Nah, Mads Mikkelsen. He's brilliant. And everything
But
he does.
Mikkelsen is brilliant,
Alright.
but that's less of a surprise.
It's not a surprise. It's not like, ooh, you thought, but no.
No, exactly. It's not a surprise. That's why I'm telling you who will win it.
Oh, I see. Right, final one then, guys. Game of the year.
Oh,
We got there. So your choices are Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and The Outer Worlds.
right. Well, I have to say, Game of the Year means a lot of different things. It doesn't always mean the best game of the year. I think there has only really been one game this year that everyone's been talking about. They've been waiting on it coming for so long. I think Game of the Year will be, for better or for worse, I think it'll be Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, says Colin Little.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, when they talk about Game of the Year, it needs to have like good story, good characters, replayability is a big thing in it.
Well, that's
as
what you'd hope it would have.
I'm going to stick with Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. He's going for a remake for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
There's a thing.
I just don't think that the winner of Game of the Year comes out in February.
I'm also going to go for Death Stranding. Because I think it's the best game.
It's
on that
just
list.
been the sort of event of
Yeah.
the year,
But
whether
I
for
think
better or for worse.
a game getting an award for being an event.
But it's not just the event.
It's not just the event.
But that's what I'm saying. It's been coming for so long.
but
it
I'm
has
being
to win.
cynical.
Does it?
But you used the exact same thing earlier on when you were talking about... what were you talking about?
Lies.
No, you did.
It's all
When you were talking about Kingdom Hearts. About how long they'd
No.
waited.
Yeah, I said
No.
the fans. I never said
Aye.
I would. I said the fans would have a meltdown if it didn't win Best RPG, and I didn't say it was the rightful thing. But that's
Well, I didn't
right.
say
I
it
think
was the rightful thing that Death Stranding, but I think Death Stranding will win Game of the Year.
Do you know what I think's good though? Is it's like last year it was essentially between God of War and Red Dead, wasn't it? It was just the two of them that were going to be.
But again, that's what happens when there are two massive games.
But that's
that
what's
are
nice
that
is that you could look at that list and go, oh,
It's a tricky
maybe
list.
they could all be.
It's a
you
tricky
know what I
one,
mean?
yeah.
That's quite nice. Anyway, so that's the Game Awards. So the podcast after the 12th of December, we'll come back and we'll check the scores and see who predicted the most.
And we'll have to do. Right, Paolo, I believe you have some...
Cody's Crumbs.
Seamless. Right, yeah, I'll fly through these. Basically, Alien Isolation's getting a Switch date. Yay! 5th of December. So you can play Isolation on the Switch from 5th of December. I would say if you are wanting to play anything like Alien Isolation, don't play it on the Switch.
I'm
Wait,
not
see
convinced.
it
I think it will not work well on the Switch.
Get a big telly, switch your lights off.
It's such a dark, as you said, it's such a dark game. You couldn't really play that on like a
bus.
or something, or like a train or anything like that.
Well, you couldn't. You'd be injuring yourself.
Aye. And also, I just think holding it, you're more likely to fling it in fear.
it might feel like you're holding a scanner though, so that'd be quite cool.
Well, there is motion control in it. I'm sure the gyro
Still not
controls
sure
in
how
it.
well.
I know.
it'll be able to cope
I'm not
with
sold on it. Another crumb for you is Kind Words. I just wanted to bring this up because I saw it in the Game Awards and I was like, what is Kind Words? And you know, it's $3.99 on Steam and you essentially write a wee letter to someone. I ran like, you write a letter and you send it into the world and it goes to someone else's game and they can respond to it. So it's like...
Pen pals.
Aye, but it's like, you know, people are putting things like, you know, I'm having a really bad day at work, I'm thinking about chucking my job, blah, 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 blah. And then you can respond to that. And
So much grief.
counsel if you like, but they can't respond back. You can only do it once. You can only respond back. I thought that's quite a nice thing.
Aye, until somebody tells them to go
I
and
know.
Well,
Griefers.
oh
That's-
gosh, come on, surely not.
It's the internet. What on earth
Especially
makes
if
you
it's
think this is
$3.99.
Oh gosh. Oh, well, you've just destroyed my hopes there, you two. I was like, oh, that's such a nice game, supportive game, and nah.
I work with teenagers. I know what the world is like.
You forget that I've played so much Dark Souls where people constantly left notes saying, roll here for surprise, jump here for secret.
Oh, I did that one.
Yeah.
Great
You
chest
honestly,
ahead.
like, you think that,
Oh, you've destroyed it. You destroyed my hopes, chaps. And finally, we have got a new Half-Life game announced.
Half-Life 3?
It is not Half-Life 3, I'm afraid. Much to the chagrin of the internet. It isn't, of course, Half-Life Alyx, which was announced. It's a VR game, which I can only presume is made to sell Valve's, what is it, Index headset.
How very cynical of you, Paul.
Well,
You're cutting my grass here.
and it's going to follow Alex Vance, who was the companion in 2, wasn't it?
2 in the episodes you got after.
In the episodes, that's right. And it's going to be set in between Half-Life 1 and 2.
Because that's what every Half-Life fan has been asking for.
You know, I absolutely adored Half-Life 1 and have never played Half-Life 2.
Oh, gosh.
2 is good.
I associate Half-Life 2 with you for some reason. Did we play a lot of it?
Because we played the online deathmatch stuff all the time, and there was like the toy box room, and it was like you were meant tiny little people.
That's
But we played that for ages.
Oh, God, that's all coming back.
When I was
to
like
now.
17, because I was in Govan when my dad still stayed there.
There you go,
So-
eh? Back in the day.
I know.
Gary was 17. What age were you, Paul? Just trying to work out whether
43.
whether there's a Pizza Express situation here. Just need to know whether or not.
Very good,
whether or
very
not
good.
You need to step aside from the nearly men.
God, jeez Louise. Anyway, so
topical.
that's your
Cody's Crumbs.
sorry, I thought I had more to say there.
That's fine. So we're rattling through, and of course we've got some lovely freebies. Gary, do you want to take us through the freebies?
Yeah, of course. This month, in Games with Gold of the month of November, you've still got Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter, which we
And
spoke about last
Sherlock
time.
Holmes.
Oh, here we go again. Till the 15th of November, you can get Friday the 13th, the game, which was good at one point.
That's out of date. It's past the 15th, mate.
Well, why is it in my script?
Well, I thought I was going to be doing those.
But
Doesn't
from
matter
the,
anyway,
from the
game's broken.
16th to the 15th of December, you can get the Final Station, which is a side-scroll shooter, which is good fun. I've played it, and Joyride Turbo, which is a racing game.
Sorry, Johnny Turbo, what?
That's how it sounds in my head. That's how racing sounds. And PlayStation Plus, for November, you have Neo and Outlast 2, which I've downloaded. I've started to try it.
As
But,
if we've got time to play them.
No, it's just sitting there looking at me like, try me, be scared. And I'm like, not today, Satan. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So still dead excited about both of those PlayStation games. This month is absolutely flying through. I've added those to my. We'll be finding out very shortly what the December games are.
Yeah.
That was a really strong bunch of games for November. Neo and Outlast. I think the PlayStation Store were talking about the fact it was like £45 worth of games or something like that. It's quite a big one. So maybe we'll get some big games December as well, or maybe it'll go back to something a bit smaller. You never know.
I should include in that XO has just been the Xbox kind of conference, and they announced a lot of Game Pass games.
Oh, all the Final Fantasy games are going to it, which made my eyebrow twinge.
Yeah,
Then
so
I was
all
like,
the
no.
Final Fantasy, The Witcher 3's coming, loads of other things.
Yeah, and of course we know that's sort of it's all been sort of like jumping about because PlayStation Now's also had a price drop, which has brought it sort of in line with Game Pass. They've had a lot of games added in. We've talked about it before with the big hitters, Uncharted 4, God of War, various things that they put onto it, and they're going to cycle through as well. So more and more folk are doing this. Another thing we haven't really spoke about a lot, mainly because we haven't had a chance to have a try of it, is of course Google Stadia.
Stadia, yeah.
My friend just got it,
Oh, yeah.
so I might have to go try it.
It's not getting good write-ups at all.
I've heard some interesting points. There are some folk who have literally went, when it works, it is like witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's playing Red Dead 2, 60 frames per second, streaming it, and it's just wonderful. And then at other points, and they're just like, I just don't really know where it's supposed to be. The stable of games is really strange as well. Like
it's a bizarre lineup.
so they bring out Red Dead 2, and then they had something else. What was the other one that was launching? The one that was quite a new game. And then they had like 3 Tomb Raider games.
Yeah,
And they're all fairly old. And everyone's like, I'm not convinced you need 3 Tomb Raider games in your 9-game launch titles.
That's what I mean. Someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone kind of said, "Yeah, come and play Google Stadia, where you can play all the games you could have played a year ago."
Well, at least a year ago, even more. So a bit of a strange one.
I was disappointed them that like the week before launch they kind of started coming out and they listed about 10 things, but they went, "Oh, that's not going to be ready. That's not going to be ready. That's not going to be ready." So it's kind of launching with loads of things that aren't there. And
sounds like No Man's Sky.
Come on, don't start. And everyone's kind of saying if they had said it was like early access or a beta, everybody would be fine. We'll go, yeah, we're investing in this. We'll go for it. But because it's not, and this is meant to be the launch, and it's meant to be this get rid of the console thing.
I just don't know.
So weird.
It's not
I
working,
just don't
man.
know. People do like their consoles. I think trying to break into that market's real hard. I mean, you'll even look at something like Sony themselves tried this with a Gaikai with PlayStation Now, and it's not really worked. I see they've doubled down, they've lowered the price and all that, but it's still not really worked. The streaming system. People prefer to have a console, at least at the moment. It will change eventually, I think, but I think it will not be somebody like Google who's going to lead the charge. It will be Sony or Microsoft or
I would be
Nintendo.
behind it. I'd be up for a streaming service, especially one like Google's. You know, like PlayStation Now, you can play on PlayStation devices and things, but you know, Google Stadia, you can play anywhere. You can't, but
No.
in theory, you could. So you know, you could play on your phone, you play on your tablet, you play on your
But
TV.
you can
and
play
all
on
that.
your phone with your PlayStation Now as well.
You can play on your PC as well. Can you not?
You can play on
Yeah.
your PC, yeah, but
And you can play on your
I've played
Vita.
it on my PlayStation.
you can't play with a controller though, unless you've
Yes,
got
I can.
unless you've got your brand new Apple OS or your Android 10. Nobody's got Android 10 yet.
But I would argue that you won't be able to stream. You wouldn't be able to Google Stadia without the latest updates either.
You can't just now, because the only way you can use a wireless controller is if you've got Chromecast, which is one of the things that they went, oh, by the way. Like
I've
the
got
week before.
Chromecast, but also my Chromecast now doesn't work with my new router, apparently. So I've needed some now, and my Chromecast's been bricked.
But the idea is you could just link your Google controller
but
and
the
all that.
idea's, I mean, again, that's the thing. The idea is this.
But that's what my point is. That's what they said at launch. This is what was going to be, and then the week before it, they're saying, "No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that." We're not
Sean
doing
Murray does.
that."
It's fine. It's fine.
So I think if it did work and everything just went as Google said they would, I'd be behind it all the way. But the fact that nothing, well, very little worked, and the game lineup was horrendous.
Gank.
Thank you, Gary. Then it's just let it down.
It'll be fine. In like 3 years' time, we'll be able to finally play it
Yeah.
in the bloodiest VR you've ever seen.
And play those old Tomb Raider games as well.
But that's the thing, if they said it was beta or early access and it takes a year to get ready and get ramped up, then that would be fine. But it's the fact they want that this is a
I don't know if
launch.
you're launching a console, as it were, for all intents and purposes, then I don't think it's okay to charge people up front that much money and then tell them, oh, you've got about a year before this is going to be any good, though.
I think it is, though, if you say it as an early access.
But you always do that. You're an apologist for folk like that.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
This
Take
is 'cause
cover!
they do this in PC all the time with early access and stuff. It makes sense, and
Yes.
it's fine because you're investing in the future of it.
But the other thing with PC is that's just a thing that you do in your PC. Your PC still works on lots of other things, and lots of other things work on your
I'm
PC.
just talking about the
Whereas-
early access model, is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Right, so if you put that on the Google, you know that it's going to have teething problems, and you're investing in its future. But they didn't do that. That's the point.
But again-
Whereas Microsoft with the xCloud that's in beta just now, and it's the same thing, and it's working. So everybody's fine with it.
But how much are you paying up front for that?
I don't know if it's a cost.
Well,
at the
see,
moment.
that's what I'm talking about. But there is a cost.
But
for
it's
the
because
Stadia.
it's in beta at the moment, and then they're going to roll it out, I think. And then there's going to be different tiers. Like at the moment, you're playing games on their servers, but then you're going to be able to play your Xbox library on their servers and different things like that. But my point is that it's because it's a beta. People know there's going to be problems, so
Yes,
they're all
but
right with it.
again, my issue is I get that. I fully get that. My issue is that with the Stadia, you're still paying for a product. You're paying for a box, aren't you? You're still paying like a couple £100 for the machine, is it not? Is it not still a machine?
No, not as such. No. It's the idea is you can play it with anything, so you can play it with a DualShock, you can play it with an Xbox controller, you can play it through a Chromecast, you can play it on your phone. What you are buying with the Founders Pack is you are buying a controller and a Chromecast. That's what you're paying for essentially.
Right.
And I think you're getting the service free at the moment.
I see.
I think that's the idea.
I hate paying money not getting stuff. I do. I hate it. I like well, if you can look around my game room, you see lots of crap, but I hate not having a thing.
Alright, fair play.
Like, and this shift to streaming and digital platforms. I mean, I've got lots of digital games on my PlayStation. If I can't get them, or I'm too lazy to go buy them, but if it's a thing I really want, I want to have it so no one can take away. If my internet goes down, I want to still be able to play that.
Okay.
So that's why
yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear
Back
you.
half.
I hear
A
you.
cursory look online, it looks like you can get it for £119.
The Stadia?
Yeah.
Aye, so that's your Founders Pack.
And that's the dongle thing and the controller.
Yeah.
I think the controller on its own, it said it's like $69. So about 50 quid for a controller.
It's just really disappointing that they kind of messed up their launch.
Hmm.
No, they'll not recover from this, I don't think. I think if they'd said it was early access or beta, they'd be fine. But I think the fact this was the launch
Yeah.
and it's not working.
Out of all my gamer friends, one person is talking about it.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of gamers.
Yeah.
Well, like literally, this is the first time we've even talked about
I
it.
know.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sorry.
Right, so we're going to move on to what we've been playing since last time. We've had some listeners get in touch. Jamsey42 has been in touch on Twitter. He said the Doctor Who VR game Edge of Time. The visuals are amazing. Took me more than 20 minutes to get out of the TARDIS as I was in Geek Heaven. Yes, Jamesy, you would have been in Geek Heaven. Playing wise is fun. Lots of puzzles, but the controls are a bit clunky. Then I've had a go at Jedi Fallen Order, which I really enjoy. He then goes on to say, and I'm going to touch on this later on, that his only fear for Fallen Order is that the levels might be starting to get a bit familiar. Jump here, climb here, fall off the ice slide while trying to catch a rope.
Nah.
That kind of thing. Yes, that was very, very, that speaks very close to my heart. Rain Goblin on Twitter, the wonderful Robin Lang, has been in touch. Star of Band of Brothers. A celebrity listener. He's worked with famous
I
folk.
thought you said Banter Brothers there. I
No,
was
not
like,
Banter
Brothers.
No, we're the Banter Brothers.
Good lord.
He was in Band of Brothers.
You've worked with them as well, haven't you?
Yeah, he's worked with all the big stars. He's worked with Tom Hanks, James McAvoy, Colin Little.
Can we just appreciate the fact that in the game of Kevin Bacon, you're one step away from Tom Hanks?
Oh, aye.
That's quite good.
I think my bacon number's like 3.
I'm a step
Because
away
of
from
Tom
Morgan
Hanks.
Freeman.
I think. Yeah, I've got a very.
What was your one?
One step away from Morgan Freeman.
You are?
Mhm.
How?
My pal Vicky.
My pal Vicky. My
What?
pal
That was
Vicky.
not quite how the game works. Yeah.
Served
My
him in
pal Vicky.
Sainsbury's.
No, she was an extra in the film set and she got to wear his gloves because she was cold.
There you
And
go.
they had a conversation.
This was the one with Jet Li, wasn't it? The one, the Unleashed or something like that. It's called.
Oh, aye, I
the
remember
one
that,
they filmed
aye.
in Pollock House with Jet Li and Morgan Freeman.
Jet Li.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
Listen, right. I was talking about my famous friend, not yours.
You just went right in there.
Fake. Anyway, Robin's been in touch, saying he's enjoying Outer Worlds so far, though it is a bit of a time vampire. The NPC interactions are good, upgrading isn't too difficult to achieve, both for you and your companion. There's a nice moral dilemma theme running through it, which is refreshing. Oh, and the soundtrack. And then the emoji with hearts on the ears.
I mean, he's wrote that because I don't think that exists.
I was going to say, it's like there's a record. I don't know what emoji that is. Emoji with hearts in the ears. So I've not played any of Outer Worlds, but you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not played much more of it since we spoke last.
I've played about 20 hours.
Oh, I'm nowhere near that.
I'm not mad surprised to hear about a moral dilemma. That seems exactly like Obsidian's sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But the best bit is the companions. They're not just there.
Yeah.
They interact with the world, and the world interacts with them, and they talk and they discuss, and that's really nice. Instead of just be like, here's my friend that shoots things.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited to try it. I do quite fancy it.
And it is beautiful.
I do like the fact that when you're speaking to people on missions, they speak to your companions and they'll speak differently to different companions. I like that.
That's quite cool. So thanks for that, Robin. Christopher Patrick has been in touch. Finally been playing a bit of COD online with my brother, and I'm just as shocking as I remember.
He'll fit right in here.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. I think we can all relate to that. I've actually played none of the multiplayer on Call of Duty.
I gotta get it on.
Come on, noob.
Yeah, well, I don't really have anyone to play with. Maybe I'll play with Chris Patrick. Maybe
You
I'll
can play with my brother on Xbox.
Well, see, I might do that.
See how that works.
Might do that. See how that goes. Peter Riley, speaking of your brother, Peter Riley has been in touch. He's playing Fallen Order and having a great time. And Matt KG12 has also been in touch. I've recently completed Jedi Fallen Order, and despite a few bugs and minor crashes, thought it was a very solid game that adds a lot to the world of Star Wars.
Oh. Do you think he's been sarcastic there with putting few and minor in inverted commas?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It certainly has had a few. There is a few bugs. I've not really had any crashes. Quite a few bugs, texture issues. There's a new update that just came live today.
That's right, yeah.
It's supposed to do some stability fixes. Still, the load times are enormously long at points when you die. That's the most annoying bit about it, really. But I've not noticed anything horrendous. I think on PC it had some real problems.
Oh, yeah?
But so thanks very much for everyone who got in touch. Now, we have been playing a hell of a lot of games. So
you get 9 minutes.
I know, I see that. So we better fire through these. So Gary, you've let's get started. So you've been reviewing Let's Sing 2020. What's your thoughts?
Oh, so we were very kindly provided a code by Koch. So big thanks to them. So Let's Sing 2020. It's good. It's good fun. It's a karaoke game. It's got lots of different modes, which was nice. So you've got your standard, here's a song, sing it, and your star difficulty. So here's an easy song, here's a hard song, you sing it, you follow the notes, you hit the gold bars. There's nothing new. There's nothing like, oh wow, I'm a tambourine.
Do they have Piano Man?
They don't.
Oh, if they had Piano Man, by the way.
So you've got that, and there's, I can't think of those. There's maybe like 20 something tracks for that, and
any Disney?
No.
Do you know any of them?
Yes, they're mostly
Any
like
Fat Boy Slim?
there's a shut up. It's mostly songs for the past year, being 2020. So some Luis Capaldi, some
Hold Me While You Wait.
some other.
Don't you be stealing my singing crown for Jamie Simpson?
Some Rita Ora, some other thing, that Sweet But Psycho, which I had good fun singing. And then they've thrown in some throwback songs, so there's like Spice Girls, some Queen.
Hold on a minute, right? Queen's a throwback, but if you're saying the Spice Girls are throwbacks, how old are they trying to make us feel?
Be careful, man, because if you start thinking about when like Wannabe came
23
out
years ago.
23 years ago.
Oh God, we're throwbacks.
Don't go down that route, man.
So that was fun, and there's like levels of progression system that unlocks avatars, and it's this really cartoony, over the top style for your avatars.
Okay.
The phone app mic works really well.
Oh yeah.
And to activate it, you've got to go and activate your mic, which is quite glee. And then there's like a multiplayer mode. There's a 8-party
We're all
mode.
dying of consumption in here. I'm sorry, guys.
There's just to sing, that's it, as you're clearing your vocals.
That's it, we're getting ready.
And then there's this really cool mode I thought was going to be called Mixtape, and I was like, oh, they're going to mix up the songs, and it's like 30 seconds of a song, and then it abruptly stops.
What?
Loads up the next song and throws you in halfway through a sentence, and you're like, so
Is it fun because it does that, or is it just annoying?
it's annoying. It's really irritating. So I mean, it's a decent karaoke game. If you've already got karaoke games, I wouldn't say rush out and buy it.
Okay.
Their online catalogue looks amazing, but I'm not dropping money in a game that's just out. It's a bit like, why didn't you put them in? So if you've got one that exists, if you've got a PC, I'd still say Twitch Sings beats it hands down.
There you go.
So I know
in
we
that
don't
sense.
usually do a sort of out of 10 numbers really, but if you were to give it a say number out of 10,
Like a 7.
so not bad.
Not
too
bad.
It's a
bad.
solid karaoke game.
If you had Let's Sing 2019, would you get Let's Sing 20?
I doubt it, because I'm pretty sure that you operate the same store.
Okay.
And I think you
could just buy the new tunes if you
maybe
wanted.
buy. I don't know. I need to look into that, but I don't think there's that much an improvement to buy it every year. It's kind of like it's like when you used to buy Now.
Right,
Every year.
aye.
It's a
Depends
bit
on
like,
the songs, I
it does. It really
suppose.
depends on
Yeah.
the songs. If you think, oh, they're cracking, for me, I was a bit like, they're all right.
I see. Like Let's Sing for me is missed on me because
Yeah.
I'm not pop music. So
So it was all right.
Gary has also been playing Citadel.
Yes.
how was that, Gary?
Thanks, Koch.
I think this is perhaps going to be proof that we do get codes, but our opinions are our own.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. A lot of love is went into this game. And from the trailer, it looked like something I was going to love. But from what I've played, I sadly have not. It feels like a poor man's Elder Scrolls.
Elder
Oh
Scrolls
my.
Online. Or
Well, online,
Yeah,
yeah, because it's
that
online,
was-
online world.
yeah.
But everything's really... I don't know if it's just because it's just new out and they're going to build it, but like your character creation is pick from these 4 faces and these 4 hairstyles. And then... So that's a wee bit limited. And then you start... You load into the world and it says pick a spawn point. So you're like, oh, that's a bit different. That could get interesting. And you start and this wee person goes, hello, wizard. Go do stuff. That's it. There's no opening cinematography. There's no, oh, you've been training here for years and it's your final. It's literally, go get me wood and I'll give you an axe. I'm like, I'm a wizard, why do I need an axe? And then you're in a bubble to protect you. So you're like, right, this stuff must be in the bubble, but no, it's not. And according to the map, it's outside the bubble. But then when you follow the paths in the map, you're not actually following the paths in the map. And then you get killed by wild boars and you die.
Good. That sounds a good start.
The graphics of this weird cartoony 2006 look to them.
Oh, gosh.
It's just, it seems to be trying so much, and it's first person, and you're just like swinging your fist really clumsily, and you
didn't
can,
know it was first person.
yeah, like Oblivion and Skyrim, you can click R3 and it goes into like third person.
Right.
Don't.
Oh gosh.
So
It looks even worse from here.
do you know what? I was like, I should give this more time, but I just get really irritated playing it. I was just like, like, and usually you can like just get by wild animals if you don't punch them in the snout. Oh no, these wild boars just saw you and wanted blood, and like I had 6 of them chasing me, and I was like, oh, well, I'm dead. And then when you die, you can respawn at any of the respawn points. But I was just like, let's try again. Oh, the wild boars have got me again. Still doing what I'm doing. I'm a roller rubbish wizard. Bye.
Going to have fun reviewing this, aren't
So,
you?
so that's so far in the review in progress. We'll keep an eye on that, but I'm not holding out much hope.
I was intrigued by the kind of building and all that, like the building of the buildings.
Didn't even get that far.
No.
And you know, I'm not one for being a graphics snob. I'll play pretty much anything, but I loaded in the intro screen image. I went, oh
my.
I kind of recoiled.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe if I give it more time, maybe if I have a bit more patience, but I just feel like hold my hand a wee bit.
Okay, yeah.
At least give me the axe to hit the boar. It's punching it in the snout, and then its pals turn up, and you're like, oh, I'm done. Tusked to death.
All right.
Tusk to death.
So for a game that there doesn't seem to be an awful lot worth saying about at the moment, to one that I think there's going to be quite a lot said about, Paul and Gary have both been playing the aforementioned many times Death Stranding. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Oh, now, I feel we should prefix the fact that you're only going to be talking up to chapter 3 of the game.
The end of chapter 3.
Which I believe was originally the sort of rules of the embargo, but we're going to stick with it because you guys have decided it's quite a good place to go up to without spoiling anything major.
Yeah. I mean, just to let you know, I've finished chapter 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the whole game.
He's finished the game.
Oh, I didn't know you'd finished the whole game.
Yeah.
53 hours, baby.
Wow.
So Gary knows a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
And I know very little, I think.
Which is good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so now I'm trying to wonder whether it's better to go from Gary or... Well, let's hear your thoughts of it then, Paul.
My thoughts on Postman Pat the Simulator. Do you know... I'm really, really liking it. Really liking it. It's different to other games that I've played. It's people are kind of hailing it genre defining, and I think that's a lot of nonsense. It's
because I don't know what genre it is. Really,
it's not a new genre.
There's also it's a new genre. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. But I don't know. I mean, it's an action adventure, I suppose you'd put it in.
It might be like if you were to say it's a new genre, it's like Fetch Quest genre.
Fetch Quest
Like,
adventure.
But like,
It does look like an entire game based essentially on fetch quests, which is usually something that folk hate in games, so it's quite unusual.
It's more than that. It's unfair to call it the Postman Pat Simulator. It is so much more. It's getting a real bad press about having to keep your balance constantly, and I've not desperately done that.
Is this like falling down hills and all that sort of stuff?
I mean, it has happened. You trip up and you swing and all that.
But it usually makes sense when
it's not annoying.
But I'm quite glad they've got that, because a lot of this stuff you saw when the game was before the game was out was him carrying these ridiculous backpacks, and you're like, how the hell does he manage to stand wearing that? So I'm actually quite glad that actually is a factor.
And it is. It's worse. The bigger your backpack, the worse it is.
I've seen some really cool things where folk have managed to like rope up their packs and they're like dragging things behind them and stuff like that, which is really cool.
I think I'd said in the last podcast I'd heard that the first however many hours, 5-10 hours, were the hard work, and once you get over that, it starts to get better. And I would agree, it starts really slow. At no point was I annoyed with it though.
Not slow, like nothing's happening. Like for the start of the story, just like bam.
And
you've got a million questions, but it just keeps like shoving you through, and you're like, I am so confused in a good way.
So this is a very minor peek behind the curtain to the listeners, but I did see on our Nearly Men group chat in the opening hours of Death Stranding were just a series of selfies from Gary and Paul just looking increasingly more bewildered as they go through the game to begin with, which amused me greatly.
Maybe we'll publish them one day.
Collection.
Just these astonished, slightly horrified, just bewildered faces, and I just thought, that looks very Kojima.
I should say actually, Sony gave us a code for this.
Yes.
Just all what's it called? I can't remember the term. Above board kind of thing.
Just full disclosure.
Full disclosure. That's what I was looking for. But it's by no means buying our opinions.
But I bought mine, so if I didn't like it, I'd tell.
Well,
yes, Gary bought it. Paul got the freebie.
Yay!
So.
I mean, it's bonkers. A lot of people that played it were saying it's not as bonkers as it looks. To me, and I don't think I'm in it yet, it's bonkers. But
you've seen
fine.
It. You've done the whole way. Is it bonkers?
But to make sense.
Yeah, that's what.
If you spend the time to read the files. So Kevin, friend of the podcast, just charges through usually.
Okay.
And he'd message me saying, "What does that mean? I don't get that." And I think there's this whole aspect to the game which no one seems to be talking about, and it's kind of irritating me because it's like the social commentary in the world today, and then it tricks you because it does it to you in the game, and this is why it works as a fetch quest game. But it letters all these wee things, and so when did I finish it? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. And now I'm like, oh, that's why I was addicted to doing that, and this is why that, and that was mentioned in that, and it's very clever. But you need to invest in the world and the storyline by reading the files, even just speed read them, and they're very good. They highlight the key text in yellow.
Okay,
you can literally look at a document and go, "That's all. That's what I need to know for that bit."
Right.
Oh, that's good. If it's got highlighted,
I mean, it's quite clever in that sense.
I kind of don't know where to begin talking about it. I'm kind of overwhelmed by it a wee bit, and as I say, I'm not into it yet because I know from you, Gary, and from other sources as well that essentially the game really starts. After chapter 3, that's when it starts moving. And becoming something. Not to say it's boring. Before that, it's fascinating. I tried I tried so hard just to do the main story, just do the main quest.
You've got a disease, mate. You literally.
No, but it
was the roads.
Oh, I am a highwayman, man. I was at highway maintenance. I never realised I liked the roads so much.
You can put things like generators in the world that will charge things, and you can put things called watchtowers, and that kind of scans the area around you.
And I believe some of this stuff also kind of
you see it in other people's
with the sort of like multiplayer element where you sometimes put a generator down and then you come back later and other people have added generators. That's quite a cool.
And you can build roads.
Yep.
Which Sea Connect. I'm not saying what cities, but Sea Connect in 2 cities.
It's a pure glorious feeling. You're like,
and you know, they take a hell of a lot of materials to build these roads,
Yep.
so you're never going to do it in a winner.
Mhm.
But it's nice when you load it up as much as you can, and you go away doing quests or whatever, doing the story, and you come back, someone else has finished it,
Yeah.
and things like that.
Or you find an auto paver and you go, oh gosh, another one, and you open it and it's like half full. You're like,
Yeah.
oh yes, thank you whoever did that. It's like,
That's
and
really
that's
cool.
that.
So it's like Souls in a way, but
Uh-huh.
a kind of step further.
And you
know,
can leave
yeah.
like wee notes which are like thumbs up and keep going. And
Yeah.
it was Kevin wasn't doing any of that, and I was like, stop not playing the game right. It's like you're the person the reason they're on the game out. I was like, that's the whole point the game's making when you work together. So he started building roads, and I was like, yeah, he did.
I have to say, I wasn't mad keen on it, and I sort of swithered, and because I knew it was a bit of an event game, and I thought, maybe I should. And then so much so that when we knew we were getting a code,
Yeah, you passed.
I
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
passed on it because actually Paul offered it and said, do you want it? And I was a bit like, it was part of a time issue with me. I just didn't feel I had the time to play it, so I sort of said no. And now I'm sitting there going, I kind of fancy playing it now. I do. I don't know if I still don't know if I'm going to like it.
Do you know, I can totally understand people not liking this game.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you play it for 3 hours and go, nah, that's not for me. I can totally understand, because it can be a bit dull. It can be a bit kind of like work, because you are just fetch questing and
Yeah.
you're just building things and walking a lot of walking to begin with, and I
suppose it depends though how fun the actual building of things is as well. Because that, funnily enough, is one, and I know I'm ragging on it a lot, but that's one of my main problems I found with No Man's Sky, was the actual building and repairing of stuff was just really dull. Because it was essentially just moving things from one box into another.
It's a lot more streamlined, a lot cleaner,
See that
easier,
instantly.
quicker. Yeah.
But the difference is, I can happily do that for hours and hours and hours in Minecraft, for instance.
But it's with Death Stranding, you're not building buildings.
No.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean? So you're
yeah.
not creating. You're fixing essentially more than anything else. But no, I it's very satisfying. It's.
But see, that's the thing, and that's what I felt was missing from the aforementioned, and that's why I think that I would maybe be more.
The
okay
satisfaction comes well from the fact when you build something that impacts the world and people use it, it tells you someone used your road, someone's used your bridge, you get thumbs up, and that makes you go, oh yes, let's build the next bit.
I've made a difference.
But then that also ties into the lore. When you read the files, and that's when you start going, I see. But because I was media blackout. Remember last time you guys didn't want to say too much, so I knew that you carried things, that you could pee.
That was a baby.
And that there was the baby thing in the jar. And that was really about it. I never wrote anything.
How weird is it when the baby cries out your controller?
Oh, I love it.
Because I have a baby, it's, and I've got a baby monitor beside me. It's kind of disturbing.
My dog is so confused by it.
Does it not like it?
But it does. It's not. It doesn't. He looks concerned. He like, and then he looks at the control and does a wee head cock, and you can see him kind of try to figure out, is the control pad okay? Like he looks genuinely concerned. And I remember last time we recorded, you guys said, oh, they say it takes 3 hours in, and I said, I hate a game that says you have to get to this chapter for it to begin, and then for this game I go right back on my word and say, no, it begins at the end of chapter 3, as in it kind of shoves you into the deep end of the story. But it's not dull up to that point. It's not a slog. It's really well done. It rewards you every so often by giving you something new to push you forward. So you're on foot for a while, and you get to your first bridges station, and there's an old rusty bike, and you can go, oh, bike, but it won't work. And they're like, oh, you need a generator. So that puts you forward to go, oh, I need to go get a generator. And then when you get at it, it goes, oh, and now he's like, oh, here's something new you can maybe get. And it's very clever the way they trickle out.
So as much as
the
it
reward
feels like a big
situation.
open worldy thing, it is quite structured at the same time, yeah?
It's do you know, it's not that big a world?
No.
But it does. It feels big. Like when you are in it.
When you get to a new area, you go, oh, sweet. My goodness. And then once you've been in that area for about an hour, you go, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And it changes.
Is it a sort of hub world based sort of thing?
No. It's all, so you're just walking through it. But it changes environment.
Yeah.
You know, so you might be in rocky greenery, and then
Oh, so it doesn't all look like Iceland?
No,
and then you're in desert.
deserty sandy bits, and then the black
I didn't know
sand
that.
bit.
The blacky sand bits, yeah.
Um,
But no, it's really good, and the story is even early on, because it's essentially like it's almost like a 3-chapter tutorial, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And then just as you say, it throws you in a bit more. But the story's still there, and it's still hooking you in, and it's still, as you say, dropping you wee pellets to kind of keep going, and
there's a point to everything, even the small fetch quests. It's never just go take this here.
yeah.
Like, so if you're taking a delivery to another city, if it's for a delivery of ceramics,
ceramics.
you can then use that ceramic. So there is a point to doing it. It's not just doing it for doing it. You do it to help make your life easier and the world's life easier. And then when you're
Oh, he's being careful.
about the connecting, is that another thing?
Yeah, because that's the point of the game.
Yeah,
I
right, so
suppose,
the connecting the networks. You get
Because you're
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
I
link
knew
up the
that.
cities again.
I can remember if that was a before known
Sorry.
thing.
Don't punch the mic. Paul.
When you meet those hubs, you get star ratings, and
Yeah.
when you deliver things, they give you rewards. The better you get to know them, and
The more quests
uh-huh.
you do for them, the more materials they'll give you.
yeah,
and
and the
things
more they
that as
like
well.
you, and the better things you get.
To then
and-
use to build and different things.
yeah, so it does. It's not just you're doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Everything has a purpose, which is nice.
But it's deadly. It's absolutely deadly of getting stuck. Going,
Oh.
I could just do that. I could just do one more trip up there and come back down, and then that'll give me that many metals to then build that road and make because building the roads makes your life easier.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well,
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that we're going to be talking about this game for quite a while.
Well, yeah, but
especially.
I feel sorry for you who's finished
once
it.
especially once I get a shot of it as well,
We could do a
because
spoiler cast.
by the sound of things,
Could
I'll
do.
then want to start talking about it as well.
Yeah.
And Paolo, the sort of speed you play games at this at as
still be
well.
playing.
So I think this conversation. But this is what I would like. I know again we got numbers previously, so I think we'll do some numbers. So Paul, roughly at the moment with what you've played, what would you be giving out of 10?
Do you know, at the moment, I would give it a high 8.
High 8.
A high 8.
Pretty
and
good.
I think it's only going to go up.
Especially seeing as you've essentially really just played the bit that everyone says is probably the worst bit, and you're calling it an 8. Gary, you've completed the game. What would you give out of 10 roughly?
So I love Kojima. I love Metal Gear Solid. And I remember last time we recorded, I was like, oh, it's all just blowing smoke and it's going to be pure crap. And meh. This game had me distraught by the end,
Oh,
like posting the picture.
we got a picture.
Just Paul. But
Oh, hang on. Is there another chat? What's going on here?
That's the other nearly men
No,
chat.
I'm not invited to.
the real nearly man.
You stop stalling. I
As
wanted a
soon as
number.
I finished it, I wanted to go back in, so I'd have to give it a 10.
A 10. And yet he still gives his
Gosh.
year-old zombie game of the year.
Because I get an 11. Because I'm still playing that on PC and PS4. So again, I finished that and I went a game that I want to go right back into and
Yeah.
just get back in the muck.
Well,
and
that was the
go
one
with
thing I
it.
did want to ask you, Gary. So this is the last sort of thing, and I think you've kind of answered it anyway. Yeah, what is the sort of... Is there a sort of end game thing? Do you want to keep playing it? Or, I mean, you mentioned about hopefully platinum in it and all
Yeah.
that. Is there a sort of... New Game Plus? Is that, do you have to start over again, or is there a sort of end game mode?
Kojima ties everything up really nicely,
Okay.
which wasn't expected because knowing Kojima with the Metal Gear Solid series, I think when he knew it was a series, at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, you're like, what? Who's that? What's that? When did that go? With this, he ties it all up. You get the final chunk, which is like, well, by the way, 2.5 hours. The final
Cutscene.
cutscene, technically. You do get to interact in it, but you don't want to save it and stop. You just need to go with it.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
Oh my god.
And then it you finish it, and then it goes bloop back in the world, but to make sense to it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not like a New Game Plus. It's not like
But what I mean is, since you're playing it since, are you still continuing that, or did you start the whole thing?
oh no,
over?
I'd go back in and continue my world because
Alright.
the kind of trophies that are left over are to do with build one at
Maxing.
every
Oh,
item
maxing
or
it
max
up,
your
right,
max your 5 stars and stuff. So
Well,
I definitely want to talk more about it
that's good.
next
Well,
time. Yeah.
maybe we do a spoiler cast. Maybe,
I think
maybe we see about that. Maybe I'll try and get some of the game played or whatever. Otherwise, we'll get you guys to do a spoiler cast.
Because every story beat that I've hit, which is few at the moment, is spoilery.
I know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know
I
a
don't
lot
want
of the listeners out there who are playing it, so by all means, get in touch and let us know what you think. And yeah, right, we've got one more game.
Yeah.
We are all playing. It's just come out. It is, of course, Respawn Entertainment's Star Wars game, Jedi Fallen Order. Very nice to up. Nice. That was a nice wee
that
sound
was
game.
atmosphere.
There we go.
Ruined it.
That was amazing. That was all good. So, we better put in our disclosure here. We did receive a code for this game.
Yes, because I begged the man.
You begged. Because Paul debases himself on the internet for codes.
Paul now has a harassment suit against him.
So Paul got a shiny code and a restraining order, and Gary and I bought the game.
Yeah,
So
we
we
did.
have all played it to
Yes.
varying levels.
I played it first, which I found hilarious.
You did play it first. I think I've probably played it most.
Yeah, you've played more than me.
You've only played a tiny bit, Paul.
I've played about an hour and a half, if that. Well, maybe 2 hours.
What are you thinking so far, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's just starting. Really, I don't even think it's properly started yet. I kind of know the MacGuffin, if you like. I went did that first mission, if you like, and I'm now moving on from there. So I'm very early on in it.
Early impressions?
It's good fun. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to use a lightsaber.
Yes.
And I like how they don't hold back, and you're using your lightsaber right away. It's not like
first
10 chapters in you get your
the
lightsaber.
first moment when that lightsaber lights up, it is wonderful.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
I love that the opening chapter, if you like.
That was really well done.
Yeah.
Really, the whole thing, and I'm getting the sense this is what it's going to be like, if repetitive. As James Keenan's saying, that it is very cinematic. Everything about it is very.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump the gun here and get into it, but very Uncharted like.
Yes.
Like I immediately get memories of the train in Uncharted.
It's got a real feel.
that thing.
Well, yeah, and that towards the end of that first section is very similar to that sort of sequence. The game looks wonderful. It really does look amazing. I know there's been a couple of little bugs, texture issues, which are getting fixed. But on the whole, the game looks amazing. It's got some really nice performances. I have to say, story-wise, I think it's wonderful.
Good.
I mean, I think it's near enough pure Star Wars story-wise. I'm loving it.
Happy days.
I do have some concerns with the actual game, though. It's funny because instantly you mentioned Uncharted. My wife saw me play it for a second or two and literally went, "Oh, that game looks like Tomb Raider."
I went Tomb Raider
And it's
before
got
Uncharted.
a real feel of like Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and all that sort of stuff.
Uncharted's riffing Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
So it's got a feel of that. It's got a little bit of God of War about it. It's got a little bit of Souls about it. It's got quite a lot of Uncharted about it. My issue is...
Sorry.
Stop punching the mic!
Did you forget you have a microphone?
That was just Paul nodding off, listening to me. Right off the mic. My issue with it is... And I need to prefix this with the fact that I'm still enjoying this game, for the most part. Is that that phrase "steal from the best," right? You fully understand that if there's a mechanic, I mean, the Nemesis system, right? When that came out in the Lord of the Rings game, and then literally everyone's like, "Oh my god, the Nemesis system is the best thing," and then suddenly every game started having Nemesis systems, right? Because it was the thing. That's what happens in video games. If there's a mechanic that works really well, everybody does it. It's the same thing with battle royales. Oh my god, everyone loves battle royales, so everyone started making battle royales.
Yeah.
I understand why people are doing it. The issue is, if you're going to try and do it, you have to do it well, because the problem is that, especially if you're going after a big game and copying their mechanic, if you don't do it as well as that, you're not going to look as
You're
good.
going to be inferior, yeah.
And the problem is that, the visuals are 10 out of 10, basically.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I'm loving the story. I'm loving that. Sound design, all that sort of stuff. It all sounds and feels like Star Wars. the traversal's a bit of a nightmare at points. It's just really weird things, like you try to jump onto a ledge and you can't grab it, and you do like 3 or 4 attempts, and then finally it grabs a ledge and stuff like that. You're like, I'm right by the ledge, that should work. Or there's one particular bit where I was losing my rag sliding down one of these ice things trying to grab a rope, and I died 20 times in a row, and it wasn't just me being bad, it was literally like it was
Something
like
wrong.
it was just jumping in wrong directions and everything. And don't get me wrong, I imagine that in the Uncharted games they probably fudge it. There's probably a massive hitbox to make sure that you grab that, unless you really miss it, you grab that rope every time. So it might be something they can fix, but it was terrible. And then I was sort of talking on the aforementioned chat where I said, I'm not sure about the traversal, and Gary actually said I died like 20 times trying to grab a rope, and I went, I know exactly the bit you're talking about. I know exactly the bit you're talking about. And funnily enough, by the sound of things, it's the same bit James is talking about. There's just strange things. Today I was doing a bit where I was clambering on vines. There's lots of clambering on vines and stuff. It's all this sort of stuff you've seen before, and I'm just like, surely there's other things we can do and things like. I don't know.
I don't mind that though. I like that. I think it's
I don't mind
nice.
that. I don't mind that, but I've seen it a million times before, and I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking. But I clambered all the way around, and then I couldn't work out where I was meant to jump, and I jumped. I basically jumped like every point on the compass to try and work out where, and I died about 100 times, and I was like, and it's a really fine line, because I don't like it when games like properly signpost, like, you know, in Uncharted or something like that, they've got the glowing yellow sort of things, and they annoy me. Or in The Last of Us, it's all kind of like chalky white stuff. And there's a bit of that in this, but I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out where the hell I was meant to jump, and it just felt a bit, and that's the problem. This sort of stuff should be fairly seamless, especially if you're making a cinematic looking game. You want it to have that sort of smoothness, and there's moments where it falls short. I'm also not convinced that the combat system's quite as clever as they think it is. If we look at something like God of War, which literally how good is the combat in God of War? I mean, it is sensational.
It's interesting. God of War took me a good hour or two to warm up to the combat. But I think it's because I knew Kratos with Chaos Blades, and then I had this axe, and I was like, oh my god! And I kept getting battered for ages, and I was like, nah, give me the blade back.
But you got better.
Yes.
Do you feel you're getting better at this lightsaber combat?
I'm getting better at deflecting bolts. But I'm not getting better at when a guy goes to hit me with his blue blade, and I'm like, how's a stormtrooper better than me with his thing? I'm like, come on. I feel that the traversal for me has been fine apart from that one rope. It's the combat for me that's the stickler, and I don't like having to put too much effort into a game sometimes. If I'm down to the rats that can pop up, and then I've seen the lock-on system is a bit gank, because as soon as you kill something, I feel like it doesn't actually track it properly. Next minute, something's eating my butt, and I'm like, what are you doing back there? So
just to be clear, the combat's Soulsy kind of style, isn't it?
Sort of Soulsy, sort of God of War, but that's again the problem. It's just it's sort of falling between the two of them, and just not quite
not being one or the other.
One or the other. The lightsaber itself feels good, feels nice and powerful. You can deflect. You can do. These are sort of minor, sort of like feature spoilers. There's a couple of force powers you can do. I won't go into them as such, but you can eventually use sort of force powers in battles, which become quite crucial. You can deflect lasers, the sort of stuff you'd expect. You basically, if you hold down L1, you will basically block everything apart from like super powered attacks, but you'll lose your sort of
you have a block
poise.
Gauge, don't you?
You lose your poise, which is the same sort of thing like Sekiro and things like that have. But again, it's just not as intuitive a system as something like Sekiro. And then there's this parry thing, but there's no visual way of telling. There's not like a wee indicator, and I don't know if you necessarily would want an indicator, but at the same time, it's really hard to judge the sweet point. And I've played a lot of this game now. I play a lot of these type of games, and I'm still struggling to properly parry.
Yeah.
I was doing parrying not bad.
What difficulty were you playing it on?
The hard, whatever that
Master
is.
Jedi Master. So I was playing it on Jedi Master.
To be fair, I've only fought wee beasties. Or, well, Big Beastie
okay.
as well. But,
Have you fought any like scout troopers and things like that?
No.
No. So
No, you would have.
yeah,
On the train?
Well, that first bit, but I presume that was after that you were talking.
aye. It's once they get to the commanders and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. However, I did have quite a good fight with a sort of boss character, and it was more of a traditional lightsaber duel. And it had its moments. It was quite annoying because it was kind of one of those ones where you're supposed to lose this fight, but you have to get far enough in it before you lose it and stuff, which annoys me a bit because I'm like, and you could tell almost immediately because I was hitting them that many times and not doing any damage to them, and I'm like, that's annoying because I know that, and yet they were killing me repeatedly, and I was like, if I'm not meant to win this fight, then why do I have to win it for a certain amount of time just to then lose it?
Yeah.
Wee things like that annoy me a bit. And then there's bits where it goes very Tomb Raider, like very Tomb Raider, and again, like a lot of the puzzles and stuff, I just don't think the puzzles are particularly good. There was one puzzle that just was annoying me big time. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. And then when I ended up having to Google it to find out, because I even had BD1 trying to give me hints, and the hints were the most obtuse hints in the world. And then, so I Googled it, and literally, by the time I Googled it and I did it, and I was like, I genuinely don't know how I was meant to know that. How I was meant to know to do that. And that it's really annoying because there's moments when I'm playing this game where I'm fighting stormtroopers, or I'm kicking guys off of cliffs, and for me, one of my favourite things in Star Wars is stormtroopers and things flying off these impossibly high edges. Wow! All that sort of stuff. That feels like Star Wars to me. Lightsaber and blasts or not. And that feels amazing. I feel alive when I'm doing all that. And then I get to this bit where I have to put this stupid ball thing into a socket, and it takes me forever to do, and it's driving me up the wall, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like Star Wars. This feels annoying. And then there's bits with all this. And then, of course, the other thing that just annoys me, we're talking about EA and loot boxes and all that in the past, is there's all these chests that you open, but all you get in them is skins for your ship or skins for your... None of this means anything. It's all cosmetic stuff, which I just don't really feel the need for. I mean, I could understand it if it had some sort of multiplayer element where you could show these things off to people and go, look how cool my lightsaber is. But nobody's going to see this stuff. I think it would have been a lot more interesting. I personally would be a lot more keen to find every chest and open them if it had, say, pieces of, like, say, spare parts that you could then use to upgrade your lightsaber, or you could use to repair the guns on a ship or this or that, rather than just these cosmetic skins. I don't know. It feels like the kind of game that they've been working on a long time. You know the issue they had with The Last Guardian?
Yeah.
Where they started making it in like PlayStation 2 era, and then it finally came out in PlayStation 4, and everyone's like, oh, this feels like a PlayStation 2 game. This feels like they started making this Xbox 360 PS3 time, and have been working on it so long that the fundamentals of the game were based then on an Uncharted or whatever, and then they've just sort of added, we better add some Soul stuff, we better add this to it, all that. And as a result, it kind of feels there. Like it's fallen between everything a bit.
Jack of all trades.
It's like, I don't think the Soul system suits the game. Like, and this is probably, like, what I was saying at Death Stranding, the lore ties into the world and it all makes sense. For me, I'm like, why did that stormtrooper kill me?
Yeah.
Why does he not have my experience? Why do I have to go find him and kill him?
And but that's the thing, because you don't have to kill him, you just have to hit him once.
Dunk him in the head.
Which is really strange.
I feel like that. I'm not a big fan of the Soul system. I've never completed a Souls game, but I did play Darksiders 3, which had a Soul system. And to me, this feels like Darksiders 3 doing the Soul system.
Right.
It's kind of like, here's a Soul system, but isn't really. And there's that whole, when you rest, everything respawns. But why? I chopped that guy's head off. I'm just a bit like, it doesn't fit the theme. It doesn't fit Star Wars. Like, if that was the case, Luke never really get anywhere, because every time we slept, they're all like, boom, we're back. But when it is good, it does it great. There's a bit you're sliding down a big ice, and there's guys shooting at you, and you're like, as you're sliding, and that's really cool. And then you jump at the end, and like that, I was like, I'm a Jedi. And then the rat ate me, and I was like, I am not a Jedi Knight.
But it's also it's a bit funny because sometimes you feel super powerful like a Jedi, and then at other points you get like 3 scout troopers on you at once and they kick your ass.
And you're like, why can't I parry that block?
It just doesn't feel fully. I had a problem with it today as well, where I had one of the sort of like this is very minor spoiler, I won't go into this, but a character called a Purge Trooper, right? We had one of them and a Scout Trooper, and the two of them ran at me at once, and I had a real problem with the lock-on, because I locked onto one of the guys, but the two of them like ran like almost on top of each other, like right at me. So I swung my lightsaber, and although I was trying to so say I was locked onto the Purge Trooper who was on my left side, and the Scout Trooper is at the side. When I pressed L1 to try and block, because the Scout Trooper shot, because I was locked onto the other guy, it didn't block him, but it was blocked, and it was just like it just feels a wee bit obtuse. I don't know. It's odd. I'm not mad on the lock-on system. It's not as good as certain games, and the soul system's interesting because they have these little sections that you meditate at, which are essentially what would be bonfires. But there's too many of them. There's hundreds of them. You find one almost always, which is just a bit odd. And the idea of that you don't actually have to kill the guy to get your experience back, you just smack him in the head. Yeah, it just feels a little bit half-baked. Now, I realise that I'm sounding very, very negative on that, but I am still enjoying the game.
See, this a lot of people are saying this. A lot of reviewers and things have got a lot to say about the problems of it.
Yeah,
but they always come back to it. But I'm enjoying it. It's good. How far would you say you're into it? It's difficult to say hours-wise because I played quite a lot of it on Jedi Master, and I've only just recently turned it down because I literally could not get past that boss fight at all. I've moved it down to Jedi, whatever it's called, Jedi Knight, and it's still pretty difficult actually, so I'm not feeling too bad. I must be somewhere in the region of about 12 hours in, or something like that. Maybe about halfway.
I would say I'm somewhere in the region of about halfway.
Where are you going?
I'm about 3 or 4, like...
Well, we discussed that. I'm certainly ahead of you.
Yeah, you're definitely... Because I got it and I played the first chunk, and then I went back to Death Stranding. And then I finished Death Stranding and tried to go back to it. And
so here's a question for you then. Because you're both kind of saying there's major issues here, but you are still enjoying it.
Because when you get it right, it's like, yes. And then...
Is it because it's Star Wars? Is it the fact it's got the Star Wars shine to it?
If this wasn't Star Wars, I don't think I'd have anywhere near as much patience for it as I do have.
Okay.
I'd still be playing it because it reminds me of Darksiders 3, and that took me a good few hours to get into it.
Right, okay.
And so I'd still be playing it. I'd maybe take a step back and go, and then go back in and force myself until I get good.
But it's not the Star Wars world that's keeping you there.
No.
It's your interest in it. I'm intrigued.
I mean, there's some... It's really interesting because they have put so much effort into so many things. Like, so we all play the Star Wars miniature game, Star Wars Legion. So we've all got real interest in all the various different ranks and various different types of soldiers there. I play the Empire, so I've got the Scout Troopers and the Shore Troopers and the Death Troopers and all these sort of guys. I love the attention to detail in this. I mean, minor spoilers, but you've got rocket troopers, you've got various flame troopers and people like that in this game who, of course, if you're into the Star Wars canon, the various films, various games, you'll have seen a lot of these guys in various things before. I love that they've given these guys the credence. It's a personal one. Since I was a wee boy and I first saw Return of the Jedi, I just fell in love with Scout Troopers. I just thought they were the coolest looking guys in the world, and I just felt they've never really been done justice. This is the game that does them justice because they look cool. The Scout commanders are really hard. They look amazing. They've got these stun batons, and when you see Scout Troopers, you're like, oh, I've got a bit of a fight here. I really like that. I really like that element of it.
I don't like seeing Scout Troopers on his Legion board. When you play them in Legion, I don't like seeing them.
So I love that. My issue is that there's moments when you can tell that so much love, so much effort has been put into this game about getting certain things right. It just bums me out when there's other points when you know that it kind of feels like they've ever so slightly fudged it. And that's the disappointment. And don't get me wrong, this is still probably the best Star Wars game there's been for years.
Okay.
Probably. I know that's not necessarily the biggest compliment in the world, but this I think could have been the greatest Star Wars game of all time, and I just feel it's possibly not.
Time is marching on here.
Yes, I know.
I've got a funny feeling we're going to come back to both these games
I imagine
next time,
so.
With more hours put into them.
Yeah.
But I think we should wrap it up for just now.
Yes.
So, following on from what you were saying, I'll go to Gary first, actually. If you had to give it a number at the moment, what would you give it?
A 7. 7.
Okay.
7.
So you're saying this is as good as Let's Sing 2020?
Different genres.
Okay.
Let's Sing's a 7 in the karaoke category.
And what would you give it at the moment, Colin?
I would say for the game itself, I would say it probably is somewhere in the region of like a 6.5 to 7. However, because it is Star Wars, I would give it an extra point, and that's it. I'm ashamed,
Just because
it's Star Wars, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. So it's more a 7.58, but it's definitely on the low end of the 8 at the moment. Still got a bit to go. It's got some massive set pieces that are amazing, and there are moments where you will be grinning ear to ear.
Well, see, that's,
Okay.
I don't think it'll go above a 7 for me, and I think there's been enough moments where I'm going, this is so cool. Not just because it's Star Wars, just because what you're doing, like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
If it didn't have those moments and it just had the janky combat, it'd be a 5.
Right, okay.
Like,
So they've lifted it up.
it'd be average. It'd be like playable, but is it worth it? Whereas there has been great moments, and the story's interesting. If you took away the Star Wars world and it was, find this interesting artifact about a thing, I'd still be going, I'm interested.
Right, okay.
I would stop short and say I don't think the combat's janky. I just don't think the combat's as good as they think it is.
Right.
I think it could have been refined a wee bit more.
It seems the way you're talking, it seems like it is Jack of all trades and everything's just a wee bit diluted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, it's Souls combat, but it's no really Souls combat.
Well, that's the
It's
issue.
Uncharted action, but it's
That's
not
the issue.
really Uncharted.
It's just got a lot of nods to better games. And the worst thing about that is that on a number of occasions when it nods towards those games, I'm thinking, that game was better than this is at the moment. And then there's little moments that are just pure Star Wars. So that's the thing. I think essentially the game's heart is in the right place. It's definitely been a pure attempt. I just think it's ever so slightly stumbled towards the finish line.
Anything else you want to say before we move on?
Nope.
Nah.
I want to ask one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend someone to buy it?
I'd wait for a sale.
Wait for a sale, Gary Hogg says.
If you're a massive Star Wars fan, I think for lore, for the story, definitely it was worth playing. If you're not so keen on Star Wars and you're just looking for an actiony thing, I would say buy God of War.
Oh, there you go. There you go. The proof is in the pudding. So yeah, please do get in touch. We've been playing Death Stranding and Jedi Fallen Order, and there's lots to say about it. I definitely think we'll be coming back to this further down the line. I know there's a lot of people out there playing Death Stranding and Jedi Fallen Order, so please do get in touch. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with the boys about Jedi? Do you agree with us about Death Stranding? Let us know.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are @NearlyMen, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
Well, we were trying to get this to be a quick episode, but I think with those two games, it was never going to happen. So I think let's find out what's coming out in the near future. Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, an adventure game for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, coming out on the 29th of November. Farming Simulator 20 is out on Nintendo Switch on the 3rd of December. Also out on the 3rd is Halo Reach, first-person shooter remaster for Xbox One and PC. Halo Master Chief Collections just came to Game Pass. It's quite exciting. Life is Strange Episode 5 is finally coming out for PS4, Xbox One and PC on the 3rd. They've kind of messed that whole release schedule up, haven't they?
It's gone a bit all over the shop.
Neverwinter Nights is coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch on the 3rd as well, the RPG. Darksiders Genesis, action RPG. Gary Hogg is excited. It's coming out for PC on the 5th. Also on the 5th is Star Ocean First Departure, another RPG for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Alien Isolation's out on the Switch, as we discussed, on the 5th of November, I think it is. On Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. The Humankind Odyssey is coming out on the consoles on the 6th, PS4 and Xbox One. I think it's already out on PC. And that's it. It's obviously quiet after Death Stranding and Jedi Fallen Order. So yeah.
So that's your new releases. Right. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for your opinions. That was a lot of chat on a lot of games.
Great fun.
Absolutely.
Proper speaking.
Thank you for all our listeners, everyone that got in touch. Let us know what you think about what we think about these games. Are we completely wrong? Am I being too harsh on Jedi Fallen Order? Am I correct? Who knows? What do you think about what the boys had to say about Death Stranding? Is Gary wrong about Citadel? About Let's Sing 2020? What do you think about that? Just get in touch and let us know your thoughts on Google Stadia as well. But apart from that, Paul, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gary, say goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
And that's it out for us. We'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.